Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of the Football Show. Today we're going to review this weekend's games in the FA Cup and also games from other leagues other than the Premier League, even though there were no Premier League games this weekend. But let's start on Saturday. FA Cup quarter-final, Liverpool against Manchester City. Manchester City destroyed Liverpool 4-0, and to be honest with you, like, City didn't have to be even that good. They didn't even have to be that good. I mean, they play a side where they're absolutely shocking. But you have to give credit to City because they, City, like I said, they didn't have to be at their best. They were in second, third gear, and they still destroyed Liverpool 4-0. You have to give them a lot of credit. They could have even won by more. And they, I felt like in the first 30-35 minutes, Liverpool started quite well, but after that, as soon as the goal scored, it became more easier for City, and they capitalized on it, and they brutally punished the mistakes and the defensive walls of Liverpool. So you have to give him a lot of credit for being very clinical and ruthless front of goal, particularly Haaland, who even he didn't score a lot of goals in the last couple of months. His goal contributions is still amazing, which shows how goal scoring of a machine he still is. And he was a goal scoring machine in this game, scoring a hat-trick. Fantastic from him once again. Semenyo scored once again. I mean, the guy, since he's played the first game against Exeter or Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, he's been fantastic since then for Manchester City, scoring important goals, and he's been a kind of a breath of fresh air. So he's been fantastic for Manchester City. And some of the players that for City, they really stepped up. Like Cherki also stepped up once again. Haaland, Semenyo. So it was a very comfortable win for Manchester City at the end. So and like I said, I don't think they had to be at their best to really beat this Liverpool side. And speaking of Liverpool, I mean, my God, they're absolutely awful. They're absolutely awful. Honestly, like, how bad can you be? How bad can you be? Honestly, no, defensively they were absolutely shocking. Going forward, nothing, absolutely shocking. They were so bad in all departments. Yeah, Alisson was injured and he didn't start on goal. Okay, but you look at Salah, obviously he's gonna leave, but he's had a very poor performance. He had a very poor performance. Missed the penalty, obviously. Szoboszlai, not good at all for him. Konate, shocking. Van Dijk, shocking. Every play from Liverpool in this game was shocking. They got absolutely brutally punished. And this isn't it's a good City side, but it's not the classic Manchester City side or the best Man City side, or winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. Champions League 23. It's a City side that is still, they're trying to be there again. And for Liverpool to get absolutely pumped up like this is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. And questions have to be asked a lot about Arne Slot. I mean, the guy keeps making excuses in the press conference. Again, keeps talking utter crap. Saying, oh, we were great in the first 30-35 minutes. Yeah, but the football match is over 90 minutes, my friend. Not 35. And he's, honestly, listen, I know he's won Liverpool the league last season, but you have to say the credit is started to go. The credit is started to go because poor performances like this and poor results like this keep happening. They keep happening. When Liverpool have had poor performances, they haven't improved after that. Not once. Not one bad, no good performance. Not one good result where they massively improved. Maybe Real Madrid, but other than that, nothing. There's not a game where you could say, oh, they've actually turned the corner. It's been very unsustainable watching Liverpool this season. And Arne Slot is basically a guy where he arrives into a house that was made by somebody, which was a great house, and he capitalized on a great house that was made by somebody, and he built a great house. But when that great house had to be rebuilt, he rebuilt it, but he built it in a terrible way. He rebuilt a terrible house. Because that's what Arne Slot did. He took over from Jurgen Klopp, which was a good team. Yeah, they didn't win the Premier League, but it was a very good team. And he did really well in terms of winning the Premier League. And he didn't make a lot of changes, a lot of tweaks, but he didn't make a lot of changes, I should say. But he made few tweaks. But when he's had to rebuild his team, it's watching the football of Liverpool on the other slot. It's not great. It's not great. And listen, last season when Liverpool won the Premier League, I was like, come on, honest lot, first season in the Premier League, great achievement. Winning Premier League, also ending the dominance of Pep Guardiola, Man City, great achievement. But when you look at last season, it was actually not. Liverpool won the Premier League was not because of Slot's brilliance. It was mostly because of Mohamed Salah's brilliance. It was also because of other teams declining. You have to be honest. So you look at this Liverpool side, like, and on the Slot, they look terrible to watch. They look terrible, and they've got PSG coming up, and they're going to get absolutely destroyed. And listen, if Liverpool don't get Champions League football and they get destroyed by PSG, there's no doubt that Arne Slot should go. There's no doubt Arne Slot should go because, you give him another season. You really think he's going to improve? You really think he's going to improve things next season? I don't think so. With the football they're playing at Arne Slot, it's not great. So what makes you think he's going to improve next season? Yes, I know there was some circumstances that hasn't helped Arne Slot on Liverpool, but come on, you should adapt better. Chelsea destroyed Port Vale 7-0. They go through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, so as Manchester City. And so Southampton, as they beat Arsenal 2-1. I didn't expect this. Credit to Southampton. The way they approached this game was fantastic. Obviously, they didn't have a lot of. Arsenal had more of the ball, more chances. But I think Southampton, they were brave, and it's not like they were scared to play against Arsenal. They gave a very good fight. Defensively, they were quite good. Going forward, when they had chances, they were decisive in front of goal, more decisive than Arsenal, and it was proved to be by the results. So, congratulations to Southampton. They deserve to win, especially for the side who are in Championship. Beating the Premier League leaders is a great achievement. So, fantastic victory for Southampton. Congratulations to them. But for Arsenal, you can't beat Southampton, really. And yes, people say, oh, but there was no Declan Rice, no Saka. I'm sorry, but how many times have we said this season that Arsenal have the best squad in the Premier League? Look at the players they have. They've got Gabriel Mosquera at centre-backs. They've got Ben White, Odegaard, Norgard, Martinelli, Havertz, Max Dowman, and Jesus. Players coming off the bench, they're like Zubimendi, Saliba, Madueke, Calafiori, Gyökeres. Are those players not good enough to beat Southampton? Are those players not good enough? You have to blame both, the player and the managers. The players and the manager. Like Arteta, of course, because he didn't get it right in this game. But you have to look at the players as well, because you play against Southampton, and some of the players who haven't played a lot, like Lewis Kelly, who are giving chances and they haven't capitalised on it. Norgard, the same thing. Max Dowman, same thing. You can't beat Southampton. It's unacceptable. Gyökeres. You look at the 2 goals that Arsenal scored, Arsenal conceded. Oh my God! Defensively, they were all over the place, all over the place. And Arsenal's last 2 defeats have been the Carabao Cup final and the FA Cup. Listen, the Carabao Cup final, that can happen. City Carabao Cup final, that can happen. It was the way they approached it. The game was just disappointing. But this one, this is a much better. This is a much bigger problem to Arsenal, bigger upset, that's for sure. And listen, Arsenal, does those 2 results mean that Arsenal are going to collapse in the Premier League? I don't think so. I still think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. But they can't perform like this. They can't keep losing games like this. They can't, they've got the Champions League coming up against Sporting Lisbon, which I expect them to win against. And they've got the Premier League where they have to finish the job. And they have a good chance of doing it. So, I still think Arsenal can win I still think Arsenal will win the Premier League. I don't think it's going to affect them, but when you got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, there is more still other chances to other competitions to fight for to win it, and you blow it away. You bottle it like this against Southampton. Why? So not good enough from Arsenal and from Mikel Arteta. Real Madrid lose 2-1 to Real Mallorca in La Liga, and I have to say they deserve to lose. Real Madrid were poor. They were poor. I would say they're poor, but they were not good at all. Defensively, they were shaky. Going forward, I don't think they were that great. Diaz, I don't think he was that good. Mbappe wasn't that good, in my opinion. You have to also criticize Arbeloa, because why do you bench Vinicius Junior? I have no idea. Why do you bench Vinicius Junior in a game that you have to win for the title? Why do you bench Vinicius Junior? I know you've got Bayern coming up, but like, you don't want to try to win La Liga. So I think Arbeloa made the mistake by benching Vinicius, and Real Madrid lost 2-1. And as Barcelona also beat Atletico Madrid 2-1, thanks to the winning goal from Robert Lewandowski. It was a game where obviously Giuliano Simeone gave Atletico Madrid the lead, but Barcelona responded really well before half-time. A goal from Rashford, who stepped up once again for Barcelona. Nicolas Gonzalez got sent off before half-time, and correct decision. There's a moment where Barcelona maybe could have had a red card from Gerard Martin, but I don't think that was a red card. So I think it was a right decision for the referee to overturn it. And you know, I thought like Atletico gave a decent fight to Barcelona. I mean, they sat back, but I felt like they gave a decent fight to Barcelona despite going down to 10 minutes. But obviously, the deadlock was broken for the winner, for Lewandowski scoring the winning goal for Barcelona, and huge 3 points for Barcelona as they take another step closer to winning the La Liga title. They are now 7 points clear of Real Madrid. I can't see Real Madrid coming back and overturning that 7-point gap to Barcelona. I think Barcelona should go on and win La Liga, and they have a very good chance right now. So, yeah. Bundesliga, Bayern Munich win their game 3-2 against Freiburg. Sunday's games. You've got Leeds United against West Ham, where it was a crazy game. I mean, Leeds United made their life very hard. I mean, they were 2-0 up, but then they absolutely throw it away in the last 10 minutes of the match. And then, you know, went to extra time. West Ham looked like they scored the winning goal from the 92nd minute from Castellanos, but then it was disallowed by VAR, and then went into penalties. And Leeds United were the winners in the penalties, and Leeds United go through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Congratulations for Leeds United for that. But I'm pretty sure that the Leeds United fans were not happy the way it happened, because they were winning 2-0 and they nearly threw it away. So, yeah. But for the FA Cup semi-finals, that means it's going to be Chelsea against Leeds, and Manchester City against Southampton. I think Man City should beat Southampton. Chelsea, they should beat Leeds, but I think Leeds could get, you know, Leeds they showed this season they could compete well with the big teams. I think they could get something from Chelsea in that game, in my opinion. So, yeah, so Man City should be in the final, and it's going to be, I think, Chelsea or Leeds. Then you go to Serie A. Inter Milan win 5-2. Roma, they take a huge step closer to winning the Scudetto. They're now 7 points clear of Napoli and 9 points clear of AC Milan. It was a very important win for Inter, as especially the next day Napoli beat AC Milan 1-0 thanks to the winning goal from Politano. So Napoli goes second as well, and AC Milan dropped down to third. Como had a 0-0 draw against Udinese, whereas Juventus beat Genoa, and Juventus are now 1 point behind Como for that fourth position for that Champions League football, and Roma are not far behind as well, as well as Atalanta. I mean, Inter should win the Scudetto, but I think the battle for the Champions League is very tight, obviously, between Como, Juventus, Roma, and Atalanta. So it's going to be an interesting battle from now until the end of the season for that one. That's for sure. Now let's move on to Champions League. Champions League, today's games.